This is QTV News broadcasting from the Gambia, and I am Ansumana Eso Nyasi. Our top stories. Witness confesses to shooting Fafanyang recklessly. National Assembly adopts parliamentary friendship group meant to foster the Gambia-Cuba cooperation. And the Gambia Police Force reviews the Police Force Act 1950. Those are our top stories, and now the news in detail. A warrant officer of the Gambia Armed Forces, Lamin Koli, appears as a witness at the TRRC. The army officer, who is also a medic, allegedly confessed to have fired the shot that killed Sergeant Fafanyang accidentally. Babkar Sise reports.
Lamin Koli, Warrant Officer Class 2, began his testimony by saying he was aware of how soldiers, including Yaya Jammeh, were disarmed at the airport a day before the coup and the events of July 1994, but said he played no part in both. On the events leading to November 11 alleged coup d'etat, he said the junta members convened a meeting at Yundum Barracks on the 10th of November, where soldiers were warned that they would pay a heavy price if they tried to stage a coup. The following day, he said, Yundum Barracks was attacked by the junta members and their orderlies. Amid confusion and panic, he asserted that he heard gunshots.
By daybreak, being the 11th day of November 1994, I saw vehicles coming in. After their arrival, shortly, around 10, 15 to 20 minutes, I heard gunshots.
So what did you do afterwards?
I stepped out of the clinic, rushed into the clinic, picked my weapon, and then going towards the direction. When I picked that weapon, all that I can remember is I first cocked it to clear it. Then I attached my magazine and went with it. That's the time I picked it, going towards where the shots were coming from. When I was walking towards the shots that I had, I saw a colleague. The incident, I still go into deep regret if I am to remember this issue. I saw this gentleman crossing by the name Fafanyang. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. It was terrible.
Please, can you tell us what happened?
Yes, I saw this man crossing, and from the direction of where the junta was standing and some soldiers gathering around that direction, I saw this man crossing from that area going towards the cookhouse. And suddenly I heard a gunshot. When I heard that gunshot, I saw this colleague lying down innocently on the ground. And then, as a medic, I decided to rush to this guy in order to give him any help that I can render. But all of a sudden, while running to this gentleman, and because the weapon was hanging in my front, it was the movement of the weapon was too much, and I was trying to control. While trying to control this weapon, I saw my hand must have touched the trigger, which led to the weapon to fire. When my weapon fired, immediately I saw blood oozing from the head of this gentleman that I really wanted to help. Totally, I was in a state of panic, and which coincided with a voice that came around the gathering, the same gathering where the shot come from, urging me to get out from that place. Imagine, somebody I wanted to save happened to be finished by my own mistake, I can call it, because I don't know how comes, but I'm sure it wouldn't have happened if my hand didn't touch the trigger.
After the death of Fafa Nyang, the witness said he was shocked and returned to the clinic feeling sad and sorry.
When you heard the voice, Sana's voice, telling you, "Get out of there," what did you do?
I have to get back from there, but regretting and though I don't like it, but the way Sana was, I'm there not to force my way, because I see that I thank God that he even sympathized me by telling me get out from there. He could have just cleared me all along together.
Officer Colley concluded that he had long wanted to meet and apologize to the victim's family, but he was not sure of the reception he would get.
After Fafa Nyang's incident, after the killing of Fafa Nyang, did you at any point go to the family to explain what happened?
Well, this was my intention, to see the family, but then I thought to myself, I don't know where exactly the family was staying after the demise of Fafa Nyang. And I don't know what gravity of their sorrow. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. I don't know what gravity would be with the family at then. So it was impossible, because I have no mediator that can mediate to give me access to apologize to the family.
Babukar Sise, QTV News.
Members of the National Assembly have adopted a motion establishing a parliamentary friendship group between the National Assemblies of the Gambia and Cuba. Aliou Sise was at the Parliament and he now reports.
Tabling the motion for adoption on Wednesday, Minority Leader and member for Dankun Kusamba Jallo said the Gambia and Cuba have enjoyed long-standing ties based on mutual cooperation and understanding. The two countries, he told his colleagues, share many common interests and purpose, notably the health sector.
The establishment of this parliamentary friendship group shall enhance cooperation and support between the two legislatures in key relevant areas, such development cooperation, legislative support, technical assistance, as well as boost people-to-people relations, among others. Honorable Speaker, the Gambia and Cuba have been great friends, and the Gambia has been offering support to Cuba interests and causes in the international arena. Cuba has been contributing to the improvement of medical services in the Gambia by providing doctors, nurses in the country.
The establishment of the Parliamentary Friendship Group will strengthen relations and collaboration in other fields for mutual cooperation and development.
The mandate of the Friendship Group is to foster interparliamentary relationship, to further contribute to the development of the bilateral relations. The group shall serve as the link between the two legislatures in all cooperation and support. Membership to the group. The Friendship Group shall consist of a chairperson and 11 other members. The membership to the committee shall be nominated by the Committee of Selection.
Seconding the motion, Bileji Tunkara of Kantora constituency gave his support to the motion, describing it as timely.
However, Madam Speaker, I want to reiterate that there's one thing to establish a parliamentary friendship group. There's also one thing to make it functional. There has been so many friendship groups established. The membership of this assembly can bear witness. Since its establishment, it has been so dormant. China, the Turkey, the France, none of the members have actually been engaged by the chairs or the chairpersons of those particular delegations in terms of engaging the other counterpart. And this friendship will only yield prudence or dividends when the two countries interact and engage, share best practice.
Several other deputies, including Usman Silla of Banjul North, Sidia Jata of Wuli East, and Fatima Rajawara of Talinding, recognize the roles Cuba continue to play in the development of the country.
It's important that those who are being part of these parliamentary groups, to try to ensure that they offer the better things that are in the Gambia, things that others can emulate, can learn from, and benefit from.
Cuba has been instrumental in giving medical education to our students in this country. So Cuba is everything to this continent, not only to the Gambia. And they are still doing the same thing.
The uncountable support that the Cuban doctors give to our Gambian young doctors by creating an opportunity for them in their practical work and sharing experience also earn us a lot.
Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
The Gambia Police Force Wednesday reviewed the Police Force Act 1950 in order to strengthen the execution of their duties, resource mobilization, capacity building, and the enforcement of the law. Mahmoud Gajaga was in attendance and he filed this report.
The act covering the operations of the police is critical to any well-meaningful democracy. The Gambia Police Force is not only ill-equipped on terms of material and capacity, but also welfare. A junior officer would take home $2,000 as salary after tax and other deductions. Due to a very low income, many officers are lured into allegations of receiving bribes. This allegation is more common with traffic officers. To add to these deep-rooted problems, police do not have any medical insurance cover in case of injury or even death in the line of duty, even though their operations could be risky sometimes. To address some of these issues, a 3-day workshop is organized to validate a new draft bill so as to improve the operations of the police.
The present Police Act has only provisions for disciplines of junior subordinate officers. Disciplinary matters of senior officers is given to the Personnel Management Office, located outside the police force. This causes some administrative challenges of the force. Secondly, conditions of service for police officers are not commensurate with the cost of living in professional policing experience and qualifications. Employment emoluments for police officers are not also attractive as those of other public servants can even police servants, even though police officers are prone to serious and life-threatening risks in the line of their duties. Police officers don't enjoy any medical insurance. Compensation for disability or death resulting from officer duties is the order of the day. It is our sincere hope that the police bill will address some of these pressing concerns.
The new bill is to provide for the establishment, organization, command of the police service, functions and conditions of the service for its members. The primary responsibility of the police shall be the following: preservation of internal security, law and order, protecting and securing lives and property, prevention, detection and arrest of offenders. However, in order to carry out these duties, there should be laws empowering the police. The Ministry of Justice has shown support to the strengthening of the police force.
The Ministry of Justice and the Gambia Police Force are in a lifelong relationship, a relationship that surpasses the personnel that occupy the offices of these two institutions at this very moment. A relationship that is unbroken and that is unbreakable, because we all know that one of the principal functions of the Ministry of Justice is the prosecution of criminal offenses. And of course, like we say, you cannot have any successful prosecution of a case without a competent and diligent investigation of the case. And of course, who is responsible for this investigation? It is the Gambia Police Force. So we are destined to live together and to go down together if need be. I mean, the Ministry of Justice and the Gambia Police Force. That is why, I mean, our support need not be reiterated.
The draft bill, after review, would be sent to Parliament for approval or otherwise in consultation with the Ministry of Justice. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
As part of activities marking the celebration of the Global Francophone Day, The Yundum Barracks Lower and Upper Basic School on Wednesday held a march past from the airport junction to the Yundum Barracks. The event was highly attended by senior officers of the Gambia Armed Forces, parents and representatives of various institutions in the country. Jennifer Sonko tells us more.
International Francophonie Day is the French version of the British Commonwealth Day and is observed every 20th of March by member states of the International Organization of French-Speaking Countries. Created in 1988 in celebration of the signing of the Nyani Convention, the commemoration of the Francophonie Day is also seen as a way of promoting and preserving the French language, cultural and linguistic diversity. As part of events marking the celebration of the day, the Yundum Barracks Lower and Upper Basic Schools Tuesday organized a ceremony which was attended by senior members of the Gambia Armed Forces, parents and representatives of various institutions. The event, which began in the form of a march past from the airport junction to the barracks premises, was characterized by debates and recitation of poems, amongst others. In his welcoming statement, Chief Education Officer of the Gambia Armed Forces, Captain Mamadou Camara, underscored the importance of celebrating the Francophonie Day, while urging for more support to help the school realize its targets. He said the school has made significant progress since its establishment in 2011.
GAF education is open to everybody. Despite you are a soldier, civilian, or any, our doors are open to everybody. Yes, so it is not only for our children, but for all Gambian children. And we want to give them the quality, the best that any other school can give. Because we are pegging ourselves to Newstart and other schools. We want to compete them in terms of academics. And very soon, inshallah, we'll stand by their side, shoulder to shoulder, to make sure that what they have in their schools, we have in our schools. Better than even what they have. Because with the military, we have two. They are military, they are teachers. So if you join the two, I think we can do better than any other.
For his part, Usman Sambo, the vice principal of the Yundum Barracks Upper Basic School, said the absence of a French syllabus for lower and upper basic school is a major challenge and implored authorities through the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education to formulate French syllabus for lower and upper basic schools.
At the national level, there is a problem of promoting French language within the context of our school. Therefore, it is relatively important for the French teachers to develop solidarity so that we can come together to help these young people. If you can take Yundum Barrack here, we don't have a correct syllabus prepared for the level of nursery school. And we do not have a syllabus prepared by the ministry at the level of lower basic school. It is only grade 7 to grade 12. So we think it is necessary. We have seen the talented young boys and girls who can express themselves in French.
Bala Bajan, the head teacher of the Yundum Barracks Lower Basic School, Usman Sane, the head of French department, and Mohamed Saho, a senior French teacher at the school, all spoke to QTV on the importance of the Francophonie Day celebration. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jenna Basonko.
The lack of energy in rural Gambia has a serious effect in the lives of people, especially women. Lack of refrigerators to preserve their agricultural produce, access to clean water and modern fuels for cooking and heating, among lots of others. This calls for concerns, and this prompts the UTG to organize a 3-day regional training on energy and gender. QTV's Ajibintu Drame reports.
In the Gambia, almost every compound cooks with charcoal or firewood. Almost 80% of households use firewood, animal dung and crop residues to cook. This is because of lack of access to efficient and affordable energy sources. In this aspect, women are more vulnerable. They brace health and security hazards and travel miles to fetch firewood. The training will enhance and promote sustainable distribution of energy in rural areas. Lamin Diba, Minister of Environment, highlights the importance of energy and the huge challenge women face daily because of lack of clean, accessible energy. He says to eradicate these problems, stakeholders need to take a holistic approach in addressing the issue. He adds that his ministry is working with FAO to find solutions to the problem and says his ministry is open and ready to help and work with organizations to resolve the issue.
Environment and gender are critical enablers of achieving this objective of the National Development Plan.
So within that framework, my ministry has worked on a natural resource policy that has already been validated, but we are waiting to amalgamate it with the agriculture policy to call it agriculture and natural resource policy. And what this policy aims to achieve is that to ensure that we sustainably use the natural resource base of the country to leverage local economic development that will spur national economic development. And that cannot be done without the participation of women. We all know that 70 to 80% of the users of domestic fuel are women, both urban and rural. So it is important that women are part of this important discussion. Unfortunately, I am not seeing many women around the table. This is important because they are the users of the environment, and they know what difficulties they face. And we at the Ministry of Environment, we know now that it's difficult for women to fetch firewood, or even generally it's difficult to fetch firewood because deforestation, urbanization has taken over.
Fafa Sanyang, Minister of Petroleum and Energy, states that energy policies have been reviewed and there are strategies in place to combat the problem. He regrets the fact that women are underrepresented and urges the participants to take the training seriously.
Energy poverty, which may also be known as fuel poverty, is an expression used to describe a situation where a household is unable to afford the most basic levels of energy for adequate heating, cooking, lighting, and use of appliances in the home. It is an undisputable fact that women are suffering most when it comes to energy poverty. Therefore, building the capacities of the relevant stakeholders in the energy sector, particularly in renewable energy matters, is very vital. In the Gambia, the energy sector workforce is composed mainly of men, with women representing only a very small percentage. The same trend seems to apply to the renewable energy sector, where women are also underrepresented. Increasing women's involvement in the field of energy has the potential to stimulate sustainable energy growth, economic growth, and gender parity. It will also consolidate women's right to equality and represent a significant social achievement.
Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
Meanwhile, the International Organization for Migration, the UN Migration Agency, over the weekend held a joint cross-border cultural activity at the Jiboro border post in partnership with the Immigration and Border Management Authorities of the Government of the Gambia and Senegal with funding from the Government of Japan. Omar P. Jallo attended the ceremony and he prepared this report.
This activity is under the framework of the project Enhancing Collective Capacity for Managing Borders and for Protecting Border Communities in the Gambia and Senegal. Exchange between border communities and officials on cross-border awareness, peaceful coexistence and cooperation is of great importance, said Stephen Matete, the Program Officer, International Organization for Migration.
In terms of this program, which has been going on for the last 1 year, in terms of immigration and border management for the Gambia, the basis of this is actually to enhance the capacities of the border communities and border officials within this particular region, particularly between Jiboro and Seleti. And what we are looking at is how the cross-border cooperations between the communities and the border officials within this particular area can actually be strengthened and enhanced in their daily activities, so that any kind of irregular migration trends that may be happening within the community may be actually mitigated.
The Public Relations Officer of the Gambia Immigration Department, Superintendent Mamandin Diba, dilated on the importance of the activity to the Immigration Department.
Generally, immigration officers are the first point of contact anytime you come into the country. Equally, we are the last point of contact when you are leaving the country. So being the case, it is very important that the position of the immigration officers is seriously strengthened to enhance their capabilities and to further cement their collaboration and cooperation with the host communities to help them effectively work out according to their mandates.
Modu Jallo is the Vice Chairman of the Jiboro Village Development Committee And he has this to say.
It has bring much awareness to us, and then it has been something to police between. It has policed between the securities and the village community, and much more. It has gone beyond border also. It has also helped to increase the awareness among the communities living within the borderline, because this is not the first time we are having a meeting with them. And then it has created an environment whereby the two committees are now working together to see to it that we are achieving the goals of making a secure border free from all kind of banditism and other stuffs affecting our development.
Omar P. Jallow, QTV News.
And before we end this bulletin, a recap of our main stories. A warrant officer of the Gambia Armed Forces, Lamin Koli, appears as a witness at the TRRC. The army officer, who is also a medic, allegedly confessed to have fired the shot that killed Sergeant Fafanyang accidentally. Members of the National Assembly have adopted a motion establishing a parliamentary friendship group between the National Assemblies of the Gambia and Cuba. And the Gambia Police Force Wednesday reviewed the Police Force Act 1950 in order to strengthen the execution of their duties, resource mobilization, capacity building, and the enforcement of the law. And that's it for this bulletin. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs. Until then, I am Ansumana Isonyasi, and thank you for watching.